Okay. Okay. Maybe
in that case, I'll repeat my introduction so it's on the record. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. Okay. Well,
He's kidding. He's kidding. He's kidding.
yeah.
I think the otter. I think the
maybe,
otter caught it.
yeah, maybe Frank, even you don't need to introduce yourself, but maybe you want to say something as an introduction to this meeting.
There are a couple of things I will say. One is I'm president and chair and co-founder of the Human Space Program, and we are an organization supporting this initiative. So it's not just me. I've got a great team working on it. One other thing I want to talk about more later on, there's a new initiative that is national in scope, but I think it fits nicely with what we're doing. It is a space awareness and STEM initiative with widespread support from the American government. Something like 17 agencies are part of it. It's just started, and I want to tell you more about it later.
Okay. Okay. Good. So maybe we could invite this organization to join our coalition. Could it be, or too big?
Certainly could invite them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if there'd be any political issues of there being very much a national focus and this being global. I don't know. It's above my pay grade. I'm just a volunteer, but definitely the two organizations, the two initiatives are totally complementary and should be working together for sure.
Great. So let's try. Let's try. Why not? Yes. Excellent. Now, yes, I have put two things, two points in our agenda. Proposed 2 points in our agenda. One is to see the coalition capabilities mapping and to review the ones who replied to our questionnaire. By the way, I invited here today all the ones who replied to our questionnaire and filled in, giving their liabilities, their capabilities, and these kind of things. So some of them are not didn't join us, and one of them is quite interesting because is the Managua University, who is actually an observer at COPUOS. So it could be in principle allied with us, with the NSS delegation that will participate to the 2024 sessions of the COPUOS in Vienna, and yeah, for sure there will be at least one member of SRI, that is our president Bernard Foing, that he can participate for some of his other affiliations to the COPUOS meetings, and I will do my best to participate myself, even if our application to become observers is still in the air. We don't know if it is going ahead or not, and what happens. We wrote several times to the directors, because Nicholas Edman is anymore the director some months, and so we wrote to the new director. But okay, this is another history, complicated history. However, we will be present and we will do our best to help Carlton, Johnson, and Alfred to promote the 18 SDG and to win some state party to adopt our proposal and to officially presented in the UN General Assembly for a to be approved. Yeah, the second point is, of
when
course,
you go back,
planning.
Adriano, not now, but when you, I'd like to go back and explain a little bit more about the process at Coquas. But go ahead with what you were saying. But give me a chance later.
Yeah, okay.
Please.
No, just want to say the second point that I want to propose is planning the outreach campaign, because I know perfectly that we were a little bit silent in the last month. This is my guilt, and mainly because we are working very much in our in SRI to prepare a position paper that is very ambitious, a position paper, because we want to say our point about the criticalities before 2030. The criticalities that run the risk to put obstacles and to be an obstacle for the kickoff of the space settlement that we think is very much important to start in between 2030. Therefore, we are making a position paper on that. Presently, Amalie is here also because she is working with me on this position paper. It's a very hard job, and we already wrote more than 40 pages, and of course it is time to cut, because 40 pages is almost a book and not a paper. However, okay, just to say that we are very much engaged in this work, and therefore some other things lost a little bit of priority. But this, our initiative, should not lost priority. We, however, made some work, and you know it because you saw the questionnaire and you filled it. The questionnaire was prepared, the first draft, by Robert Katz, and thank you very much for that. And then I have put it online, and we only had 8 reply to so 8 answers on almost 70 is not a great success of this initiative. However, I sent an email today to the group asking to work on that and to send their application to the other partners, and let's hope that they will contribute. Of course, this is important because by this questionnaire we will know which outreach capabilities our partners have, which are their availabilities to move outside, to talk to the society at large, and to make all what is possible to spread the word and to make the public opinion aware of what we are doing. That is our scope, the scope of this committee, that is the public outreach committee. So if you like, we can see together who replied and which are their availabilities. Basically, as a first thing, so let me check where I put the file. No, it's not this one, of course. Okay, questionnaire. Coalition map. Okay, I will share. Not very much to say, but however, okay, share the screen. Okay, we have the Space Career and Leadership Center with Bernard Weiss, Human Space Program, the Space Treaty with Dennis O'Brien, La Réunion Space Agency, Guy Pignolet, University Managua, Umberto Garcia Montano, ASCI, it is basically Ghanim Al-Otaibi, and Gesellschaft für Kultur und Raumfahrt, Society for Spaceflight and Culture, by Mary-Louise Heuser, Professor Mary-Louise Heuser. She is also a member of the SRI board, and she is the head of our space philosophy laboratory in the Space Renaissance Academy. Well, yes, Amalie, by the way, Amalie Sinclair didn't reply to the questionnaire so far, but I hope she will do it. But however, she is the leader of an initiative too that is called I don't remember the name, but
It's called Space for Progress. It's an experimental work, but certainly, yes, I'll answer the questionnaire, Adriano. Will do.
Okay. So these are the organizations who replied to our questionnaire. And one of these, the University of Managua, is an observer at Scopus. But maybe there are others in the 67 organization. There could be someone else that is observer at Scopus, and I hope we will discover it, and so we can better coordinate our actions. Okay. By the way, Guy Pignolet said that he can reach testimonials, so celebrities, and invite them to be a testimonial for our campaign, and he can reach movies, radio, television, educational, etc. in France, North America, and Japan. So this is important because we need as much as possible to be open, on the real world, on the real society. Therefore, the possibility to have interviews, to have maybe to even only to send small videos to some TV broadcasting and so on, it will be important to share our campaign and to explain our key concepts and to make people aware of the urgence kick off civilian space development, and to start moving, expanding into outer space. Also, Marie-Louise Heuser declared that they can, with this organization, Society for Space Flight and Culture, to reach academic personalities, actors and movie directors, musicians, and other artists. So, yeah, I think this part is very important because, yeah, then when I will talk about my ideas for developing the campaign, I will say more on this subject. Okay, so this is the situation right now. I think, however, the balance of this first, let me say, action of the questionnaire is positive because we learned that we have some capabilities and some availabilities, and this is very important. And we also got some more resources in our small committee, organizational committee. So I think these are two good points, good results for this past couple of months. Okay, we have a couple of raised hands now. Frank, please.
Oh, yeah, I just had a suggestion, Adriano. If you send the questionnaire out again, I would suggest that you accompany it with a message that it's fairly long. It's a fairly long questionnaire. I
Yes.
started on it and I did not allocate enough time. So I found myself rushing through it. And I think what may be happening is people are looking at it and they're putting it off till later because they see it's fairly lengthy. And I just think maybe if you gave people, number one, a warning that it's comprehensive, let's not call it long, call it comprehensive. And also that it is really, really important for the campaign to have it. So encourage people very, very strongly to do it. And, you know, as President Kennedy said, we do these things not because they're easy, but because they are hard.
Yes.
You got to do hard things. Look at Robert.
Adriano, do you have the copy I sent that we could have a look at? Is that any use? You know, the solicitation copy. Yeah.
Look at the questionnaire now, you mean?
No, I was you wanted to solicit the signatories and the partners for the, you know, and I prepared I think it's about a page and a half. There was a description of.
Yes, but but I thank you for that text, and I wanted to work on it, but I didn't have time so far. But therefore, I think I will.
You don't want to have a look at it now, see if it's useful.
Maybe. Yes, but there are some points on that would start a discussion about space law, for instance, and I don't think is the scope of this committee is to discuss space law and to go deep inside some specific point. That's why I say that I would like to work on that before sharing.
Yeah.
Okay. So, however, I took note of the action item given by Frank. Mkhail, you also wanted to say something.
Yes, Adriano, two quick comments. I found this questionnaire useful, but slightly overwhelming. I'm a one-man show for now, and it always felt like unless you're a big professional organization, you cannot contribute. But then I thought, okay, since I can do videos, I'll put my small input in videos. Perhaps you can also have a message somewhere that people are not expected to be good at everything. Even if they contribute one small bit, this will still be a good input because you never know what is missing. So it felt a bit overwhelming. I just used all my guts to say, okay, I'll fill it and I'll finish it. And second, I don't see myself there. I dare space travel. I did definitely fill the questionnaire in your list, which you did show before.
Yeah, maybe I okay, maybe it's not complete. Yeah, I said there were 8 answer and one is yours, and
okay, I'm secretive. Am I right?
I'm sorry for that, because probably is not complete, but only for one.
Okay, that's it. Thanks.
Okay. Okay, just want to take note of what we are saying because otherwise thing will be lost. So, okay, this is what we have so far about the organization. For sure, yeah, I will send another message. I sent one message today, but I will send another one with the recommendation made by Frank and by Mkhail. That's but okay. Let me also say that each one of you have the possibility to post to the group, to the Google group. So you will be very welcome if you want to make directly your recommendations or your suggestions, and so the group is alive and can be used for
Okay,
all comments and recommendations and so on.
okay.
Okay, so this is what we have for about the organization. Now, about planning the campaign, I think we need to work, okay, on two main layers. Of course, one is the UN, COPUOS, and UNUSA, and all the United Nations part. And about this, we have another committee that is the UN committee made by Carlton Johnson and Alfred Anzaldua and myself as an observer, more or less, because they are very much more expert than me on that side. So yeah, probably we have some information by then before February, because in February there will be the first meeting of the 2024 in Vienna. The meeting will be, I think, the Scientific and Technological Committee subcommittee, and later maybe in June there will be another meeting of the legal aspects subcommittee. Alfred, correct me if I am wrong.
Can I just say a little bit about that? Okay, so there's 3 meetings. The first one, as you mentioned, in February, is the Scientific and Technology Subcommittee. Then there's the Legal Subcommittee in about a month after that. So February, March, in April. And then the one in June is a general committee, a general where it's the full committee. And a big part of that is that the subcommittees, the legal subcommittee and the science and technology subcommittee, give reports. But I just thought it would be helpful, and if people knew why we're concentrating on COPUOS. I don't know, you and I put together a schematic showing how COPUOS fits in. The Committee on Peaceful Uses of Outer Space fits in with the UN General Assembly. And I think that there's a lot of confusion about that. But I would just like to sum it up by saying that the COPUOS is the first, is an actual, a subsidiary organ. Okay, so you have 6 organs of the UN. And one of those organs is the UN General Assembly. And the only permanent subsidiary organ that's devoted to space since 1959 is COPUOS. Okay, so it's really important to get COPUOS delegates to buy in. And if it's the University of Managua is involved or any other permanent, we've been permanent for many years, permanent observers, NGO observers. And by the way, even though we're called the National Space Society, it's an international organization. So, so we would surely love to collaborate with other permanent observers. And one other thing about tactics or strategy, perhaps. the delegates tend to be very conservative about sticking their necks out. So that it is important. We've thought about different ways to get them to go along with supporting this 18th SDG, Sustainable Development Goal for space, for the expansion of humans into space with supporting life forms. And one possibility, if they're not willing to raise their hand and say, I support this, is for them to join a working group. So where we can talk about it. And I think that's what we're much more likely to get people to join a working group to talk about it, and then to put forward a resolution together and not isolated. And by the way, one other thing that's really important is that it's very important that there's not one country that supports us that's got a lot of historical baggage, okay? Because that will automatically cause other countries to vote against it. And in COPUOS, you need 100% of the delegates to go along with it. One delegate can kill the whole thing. So it's very important to figure out how to present this to the whole delegation. That's all I wanted to say for now.
By the way, I have shared. I am sharing here.
Oh, good.
What we have made a kind of organigram of the UN. No, I think it's okay. It's not the last one, but however, more because this is not the last version.
No, that's the one we fixed.
Yeah.
That's not correct.
Yes, but I think I can find it. If we like, I can find it.
You'll get a corrected one sometime.
Yes, I have it.
You got it? Okay.
But yes, I have it. But where it is another thing.
Well, maybe after this meeting, you could send it to everybody.
Yes, but if I can find it quickly, I will. I will.
It does the schematic that we put together does make it very clear how it all fits together.
Yes, in fact. Let me see.
I think you can, while you're looking for it, I'll just say another thing about it. You can kind of look at COPUOS like a can opener. So you got the can. The can is the UN General Assembly, right? And great if you can get, the Economic and Social Council to go along too. Fantastic. But if you can't get COPUOS, the actual subsidiary organ devoted to space since 1959, if you can't get that subsidiary organ to go along with it, you're dead in the water. I mean, we could still get lots of propaganda for it, not propaganda, but publicity. So choose my words, I guess. And also one other thing, I can bring SRI documents from SRI, but I can tell you right now and pass them out while I'm there. But I can tell you right now, if it's over 2 pages, most people won't read it. Most people won't read it. So just think about,
Yes. No. We are thinking about that. And my idea is that when we will have it complete, 45 pages on, we will make an executive summary.
Yeah.
Of just 2 or 3 pages, referencing the whole document if somebody wants to.
There you go. That's the way to do it.
That will be the way that we can, because we have to put together to enhance just our positions, and then we can link to the why we have this position. Let me say, because now it is a book saying why we have this position. So I think that would be the best way to go.
Alfred, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
The Kupos, right? There's a group of people. Is it known who they are? Can one?
Oh yes. There's a list. You can go online. You can find all the delegates from the last meetings. I'll just tell you this. It's getting bigger and bigger. I think there's over 100 delegations now. But the ones that have power, who can submit a resolution, it has to be a state party, right? We can't submit a resolution because we are observers, permanent observers, but still observers. So we have to convince the state parties to submit the resolution. And that's why this is a process. And yeah, we can get good publicity while we're doing the process, but it'd be nice to actually get before 2030, which is the deadline for this. It would be nice to get the state parties to actually support it. And then the UN General Assembly will go along. But you got to get they're the can opener.
No, I get back to Renato.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you, Alfred. Thanks.
Adriano, may I place a 3-minute commercial?
I have found what I was looking for. So if you like, I can show it again. Let me share the screen. Okay. So this is the last version that is more accurate as to the yeah, of course, United Nations is the big container. Then we have the Security Council in New York, the Economic and Social Council in New York, the Trustee Council, the Secretariat, the UN General Assembly, and the International Court of Justice of Hague. And the UNUSA is an office of the Secretariat in charge to interface the COPUOS. So the COPUOS is a committee of the General Assembly. And UNUSA is
a subsidiary organ.
Yeah.
It's not a committee.
It is written here, subsidiary.
Well, they call it a committee on the peaceful, a full committee on the peaceful uses of outer space. That's true. But
Because
it's really important to understand that its status as a subsidiary organ.
Okay. So, well, the Scientific and Technical Subcommittee and the Legal Subcommittee are the same of the previous picture that I have shown, and there is a general working group on the Space 2030 agenda. And we are proposing a working group on the Space 18thSDG. So we don't know where it could be attached, maybe directly under COPUOS or under the scientific or the legal.
How long would it take to get the working group established? Do you know what a time frame might be for that? The 18th SDG working group. Do you have?
Well, we wanted, of course, to happen as soon as possible, but this is something that you have to do by meeting people. You can't. I mean, we can send out emails, and we know, I have maybe 50 business cards from past meetings, but you don't know in advance who's going to be on the delegation. So, I'm going to start that process in early January of sending out emails and putting this forward as an idea. But nothing beats meeting people at these meetings, at these COPUOS sessions, during their sessions, and on the margins, and shaking hands and asking them what they think about it. So this is a problem in a way for us, because I can't be to the first one in the Science and Technology Subcommittee. So I'm trying to recruit others to go to that meeting and get a badge and so forth. You have to be on a delegation to get a badge. So you can participate. But I will be in the legal subcommittee for sure. And I'll be talking to people and others will be doing it. And we're hoping that we can get, I think the working group will probably have to be in the legal subcommittee. But we'll see. The sooner the better. And then in the general meeting, if we don't succeed in those two subcommittee meetings during the general meeting in June, we can also press. We can also meet people and get them excited about the idea. And there's one other opportunity, and that is in Luxembourg. So that would be in March.
Yes, by the way, our abstract was accepted because we presented an abstract to that workshop of the space resources in end of March in Luxembourg. They have accepted it, so we will be present there in that workshop.
Oh, sorry, I have another quick question. You mentioned getting more delegates to act for promotion, Alfred. I mean, would it be possible to get somebody from Brazil? I'm trying to get...
Yes, of course.
Right.
We actually already
how that
talked
gets
to...
framed, yeah.
Yeah, we already talked to somebody about that. What was his name? Nardine? He was the head of the Science and Space Committee or something. And assuming that we already discussed that with him, and he's the one actually proposed an expert group. I thought about it and I realized that expert groups usually come out of working groups first. So there's probably only one exception I can think of.
I'm just thinking how it ties in with this discussion I was having with Renato to try and get through to the president there. But anyway,
Yes.
I wanted to get back to Renato, but I was trying to think how to sort of frame this to see if I could.
Absolutely. See, now the thing is about Brazil and other countries that have not caused geopolitical waves. I mean, they have their own internal, issues. I got that, left and right and so forth. But geopolitically, they haven't made a lot of enemies. And so we need people like that. We need those kind of people to be on a working group. And even better if they supported it publicly right off the bat. I doubt that they were going to do it. When we talked to Nardine, he was reluctant to do that. He wanted to go through the expert group, working group process first. So, but yes, I mean, I think Brazil I can think of, we need some African, Nigeria, that sort of thing. I think, depending on what's happening, what the present conflicts, I was thinking about UAE before. I'm not sure that's a good idea right now because of the conflict in the Middle East. So, you have to pay attention to what's happening geopolitically and try to recruit people that are not going to cause, for instance, the United States. I was a US diplomat, so I can tell you right now that if the United States comes out with something, there will be, I can think of 3 or 4 countries that will automatically reject it, automatically. And it's the same way with Russia. It's the same way with other countries. So yeah, we have to be really, really careful about who is supporting us publicly at the beginning. Eventually, yes, we need support from everybody, but those first few that come out in support of us, that's important. And we have to think about that.
Right. I've got contact in Brazil and also Nigeria who I haven't spoken to for a long time, but he knew government people. So maybe if I send you a quick email, I just sort of think how to kind of frame this to fetch the additional delegates that you need or something.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you. Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Frank he raised the hand, thinks half an hour maybe.
So I had a couple of things, and I guess we're at the end here. Alfred, I have a colleague who works for the Canadian Space Agency in a policy role. Would we be interested in Canada
Yep,
getting involved?
yep.
Okay.
Australia, Canada, New Zealand. I would
talk-
stay. Yeah.
I'll talk to her about this. I don't know.
Okay.
I
Okay,
don't know
buddy.
the politics of her world, but I'll talk to her about it.
Sure.
Quickly, the other thing I wanted to talk about is the National Space and STEM Initiative in the US. So Gwen Griffin is putting this together. It literally just began. It's going to be a nationwide campaign, a strategic communications campaign, like what we're doing with the SDGs. The goal is to build awareness and enthusiasm for STEM and space broadly. 17 US government departments are involved, and that's never happened before. There's a strong emphasis on reaching underrepresented communities. So there's going to be an RFI go out soon to creative agencies to make an effort to come up with the big idea. What is the big idea? What is the tagline? So it seems to me, as I said before, that the two organizations should know about each other. And so I will tell them about you or about us. And I've told you about them. And I don't know, maybe Gwen or one of her team members will come talk to this group. What we need to do, and we didn't talk about it today, is we need a plan.
Yeah.
Can't
This
just
is
be
the second-
throwing ideas out there.
Is my second point. My second point is the plan.
Right. So we need to develop a plan. They will be developing a plan, and as we work, I mean, I think it's a different message, different audience, but we should know what they're doing and vice versa. So I just wanted to leave it there for now because there's not much else to say yet. But there you go. It's very promising to have two efforts to communicate the value of space and space migration happening simultaneously in 2024.
If I could just quickly respond, though, I think that's great, but it would be a mistake, for instance, for us to go, the National Space Society, to go to Copuis and then have someone representing U.S. Agencies or entities promote this. And the reason is because, again, the geopolitical baggage, if we can work together, but we don't want this to, it's bad enough that we're called the National Space Society. But we're international. And so we have to explain that over and over again. So the thing is, we don't want this to be seen as a US effort purely. Okay,
No,
so
that's why Space Renaissance come in, because we are international. We are based in Italy, so nobody can say that we are US.
right. So yeah, but you folks are still you're not permanent yet, and so as soon as you are,
Yes.
that's great. You know, that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
No, we have to work together. Yes.
Yeah. So, and then, but the message of inclusiveness you mentioned, Frank, is really important, and that's a big one for our messaging to these Copuis delegates, because many of them feel left out.
Yep.
Historically, and within the bigger picture too. Various indigenous groups have been left out. So that message is a really big part of what we're going to be saying.
Good.
Well, so let's talk about making a plan, maybe.
Well, you've got a whole portion about anti-colonialism in the position paper. The colonialism we're discussing there. We're not
Yeah, we are.
colonialists. Yeah, right.
I wouldn't even raise it.
Oh, boy.
It's a lightning rod. It's a lightning rod.
Ah, Adriano's written quite
That's
a
my
lot.
opinion. It's a lightning rod.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. So let's try to put maybe some basic steps of a plan. Of course, there are, yeah, what I wanted to make a to put a premise is that we have in any case we will have to develop a web campaign. That's for in any case, but there will be a great difference about what we will do if we will have money or we don't have money. So touching the point of money is always very critical because I know very well that we are 67 organizations and each organization has their own issues with money. All of us are trying to collect money. We are Space18th International. We are an activist organization living on membership. So we are always trying to get new members. And I think many other organizations do the same. Therefore, it's very, and also donations, of course, to collect the donations and money and so on to support our initiatives. I think all of these organizations have the same problems. And it will be very difficult to propose to make a fund collection together. Of course, the only point, one of the points that can sustain such a proposal is that if we start collecting money all together, we will raise very much more, probably, than what each one of us can do individually. Well, okay, I cannot talk because there are, of course, there are some dimensional differences. Let's say if NSS is very big, Space NSS is very small. Therefore, I believe that our capability to collect money are very different and so on. And our budget, yearly budget is different and so on. So, and there are other big organizations in this coalition. There is the Mars Society, for instance. I don't know what the Mars Society could do from the point of view of the money. However, yeah, we could maybe think about an algorithm that not an algorithm, a mechanism that for each euro or dollar collected, a part will go to the organization that collected it, a small part, and the main part will go to the campaign. So in case we decide to go on this road, we should maybe to create a dedicated bank account with full transparency and probably also to create, I don't know, a trustee, something like that, something that can guarantee that the collected money will be used for this purpose and not for the things and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. However, in case now it's a preliminary discussion, I thought about what we could do if we will have an important amount of money. We could do conferences and public events in many countries to go around in many countries of the state parties of the UN, and make great big public events with concert, with celebrities, musicians, actors, and all these kind of things, and so attracting very much people. In Italy, when let's say when Vasco Rossi make a concert, Vasco Rossi is a famous singer here. There are 200,000 people in big stadium, no? So if we could get this kind of people attention, that our campaign will really blast off and detonate and make a lot of rumor, and people to be attracted to understand what we are saying, why, and so on. So this, if we have money, and having this kind of money will mean to ask some big donors, like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and well, I wouldn't say Richard Branson, poor guy. I think he's having his problem now, because I have read that he is maybe dismissing investment in Virgin Galactic. I don't know. However, okay, yeah, we should try to reach big donors if we want to make a public campaign with big events in presence, with big conferences, and so on. This is one thing. Yeah, the other, yes, a moment.
But sorry, to interject, but you just give me an idea. A while back, or quite a while back, it was 2017. We were we were working at NASA Ames to do something with their big hangar there. We were trying to set this up, and we wrote to Jean-Michel Jarre. You might have heard of him. He's a very famous musician, and like 200,000 people will go to his performances. He did performances in Russia and all over the place. And he said, yes, he would come and do a concert there, benefit concert for this project. But he actually wrote to me, and he was willing, to do this, which didn't happen. I'm not quite sure what happened next, but I don't know if I've still got the email, but if somebody approached him, he's very sympathetic towards space. He might do something, was just a suggestion. He's one person that I know, he was available at that point. That was a while ago, but might be available again. But, if Frank or somebody wanted to contact him, maybe something like that could be done. It was just an idea. It's like remembering this, but he's very well known, very high profile.
Yes, that's why we need to make a plan. We have to write a list of who we want to contact, what we want to propose, and so on. I have a short presentation, some slides, because when we start to contact people, we have to show something to them, what we want to do. So okay, let's give the floor to Gui, that was going to say something. Then I will maybe show you my few slides about a public outreach campaign possibility. Gui.
Yes, thank you. This situation reminds me, I was in a similar situation 30 years ago at the IAF, the Global Astronautical Federation. I don't say international anymore, I say global. I had just, that was in 91, I had just been named chairman of the education committee. At that same session, Lucien Deschamps, who was a big shot in electrical organizations in France, had been named chairman of the Space Power Committee. So we were sitting at the meeting with the board of the IF, who was telling what was our job and duty as chairman of the committees. And Lucette told me he was making workshop the following year about space power, solar space power. And he said, no one knows about this, what it is. You are in education, what could you do? And immediately I did, but I have no money to give for that. So we worked a few hours together and we came out with the idea of making a world contest. It was 2-page A4, one side, the other side. On one side, we had drawing and the sun and a few things, and it was about solar space power. On the back side, we had things. It was a cartoon contest worldwide, so there would be no money prize and things like this. The prize would just be fame, and we had just the basics of how much energy we could get and how it would work basically. So we made 3 copies of that double-sided pages. One was in English, one was in French, and was blank, no writing. We had the IEF. There was no internet, no email at the time, 1991. And we had, but the IF had 3,000 people on their mailing list just by, regular post and letters. So we sent the blank, the French and the English 2-sided paper about the contest to the 3,000 people with a note telling them that this was maybe important in the future of space. So we were asking them 2 things. One was a blank page to translate the other one and put in their own language of their own country. And the other thing is to tell us how many they had distributed to organizations, universities, and everything in their country. As a result, we had about 30 different languages for our call, and it was distributed over 120,000 copies worldwide. We got 51 replies for the contest, and 48 out of 21 were good. So earlier in this meeting, I don't know who mentioned that, was it Robert or I think maybe said that the COSPOS, which we have been, there has been a lot of involvement in this process. They had something like 100 countries, national correspondents. So if we would do something like this, make a world contest for students, schools, citizens, on the same format that we had in '91 for the Space Power World Contest, and ask the COSPOS to send that to these 100 organizations, and to have returns, say, by the end, to have returns by the middle of March, because this is, many of the world meetings are decided in spring. And we would report that to big world meeting like the IEC in Milano next year and things like this. So this is a possible plan that one could match from the what we had 30 years ago. Today, it wouldn't be distributed by letter sent with in an envelope with a stamp, but by email and internet and things like this. And it needs to be one page, just one page visual and one page text, because someone mentioned that 30 pages is too much for people to read. So they get the idea, and they have on the backside, they have some internet sources of information about the space development goals. By the way, 17 is too much. When I speak to people around me, they don't know the 17, they know one or two things like this. But there is one thing that they know is a deadline, and this is Agenda 2030. So rather than having the 18th, which would need for us to say what are the other 17, we could say very simply that the 18th space development, sustainable development goal will allow to fix all the other one and meet the 2030 agenda, because most people have heard and know 2030 agenda of the United Nations. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Gui. And okay, if you like, I will show you my few slides. And but first of all, before I forget it, I think we could maybe very early in the next weeks to get profit of my Mkhail capabilities and produce a short video that we can then begin to share, to spread around on all, asking all of our members, our partners to publish on their websites and on their social channels. So we could try to make a, I don't know, a 5 minutes or 7 minutes video with the nice music and putting together some pictures and small speeches, basically, yeah, with by well-known people like Frank, for instance, and Gui also, because Gui is very well known in the space community, and so making a short presentation of the 18thSDG initiative, and yeah, putting in a good shape. What do we think about this proposal? This is an immediate thing that we could, yeah, okay. So maybe Mkhail, can we also give you the function of or the role of project manager for that? So you will ask us what you need to put it together, and we will reply to you.
Yes, I can do that. Also, my recommendation will be to start with the short videos, 30 to 60 seconds. It's very easy to share. They attract much more attention. I can put it in my email. I'll send it to you and you can circulate.
Okay, great.
I think that's a good idea. And he's the right person to head it up.
Good, excellent. So I will create a proper Google Grab for our committee, in order we can exchange the materials and everything that we have to do, and also a shared drive, shared Google Drive, where we can put documents and everything to refer to. And okay, so this is for the immediate, for the campaign. Now I will show you my slides. Don't think it's a very, just a moment. I have to find. Ah, Jesus, when I have to find things, it's always a nightmare. Please give me some more seconds.
Adriano, can you send that to me? I'm gonna have to go to another meeting. If you'll send it to me, I'd love to see it.
Okay, let's do like that. But just give me other 10 seconds to see if I find it, because it should be here. Yeah, why not here? Oh my God. Okay, maybe. Yes, I found it. Then I will share it, of course. I will share it. Okay, so this is my idea for a road show. Of course, this is copied from the Pink Floyd concert in Berlin. The famous when they broke the wall. So the goals of the 18thSDG initiative to outreach as much as possible the public opinion on the need for an 18th Sustainable Development Goal, to get generalist media attention, to host great stars from the worlds of arts, culture, academics, and great space stars like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Richard Branson, testifying why space is the key factor of sustainability for 8 billion terrestrials, to win some UN state parties to endorse the Space 18thSDG proposal and present a resolution to the United Nations General Assembly, to move the United Nations Secretariat to accept our proposal. Reference, the series of Live 8 concerts. I think all of us remember that time when those great initiatives were made to feed millions of starving people on planet Earth. They raised huge funds and saved many lives. Nowadays, we need to bring to the people of Earth the awareness of the urgency of civilian space development, calling the people of Earth to support human expansion into outer space. What and when, to develop a series of events in the capitals of as many countries as possible. Each date will include a mass event like a live concert, a show, an art performance, a conference to explain the Space 18 proposal, invitation to all the attendees to sign the petition. The live event, a conference will take place in the same location. In addition, a side symposium may be organized in a public room near the main location. Each event will take place in a single day. It will be possible to hold meetings with the countries and entities immediately after the main event or the day after. The road show will develop in the time lapse of 4 years from 2024 to 2028. The events number per year, 3 in 2024, 6 in 25, and so on. Organization, the venue selection will give priority to large infrastructures such as public squares, soccer stadiums, big arenas, or theaters. Each event will be organized in partnership with local entities such as space agencies, universities, research centers, the country's government, local NGOs. Media partner agreements will be signed on both global and local range. Proper advertising will be purchased on global local media. The organization of the road show will be committed to specialized agencies, both global and local. All events may be based on agreements with local organizers, free of charge for all attendees. Free donations to support the campaign will be accepted, or by low-cost tickets calculated upon each country's user custom. Proper web pages will be developed to advertise each event with event description, registration forms, and logistic information. Funding with the roadshow will be funded by global and local sponsors. Sponsors will be sought among the following subjects: space corporates, philanthropic organizations, banks and insurances, tourism dealers, private donors. Money will be also collected by the following means: ad hoc gala dinners, free donations, or ticket pre-selling. The logo and link to the website of our sponsor will be published on all printed and web materials. Okay, this okay, even budget template, I think, yes, it's just a normal budget template with the main location, rent, meeting location, organizers, agency, advertising, press releases, equipments, audio, live service, security, reception, personal travel expenses, and so on. And the global campaign also will have a budget. So event 1, 2, 3, etc. Global organizing agency, global advertising, and so on. And then a general master plan where we have to put all the activities, and yeah, this can be developed by some Gantt tool like the Microsoft project and things like that. Okay, so this is all. Of course, these guys are Pink Floyd. This is Sting. This is Jeff Bezos, Richard Branson, etc. Well, okay. I wanted to be quick because we have other meetings, other things to do. So this is just a draft, of course. I will share it with you, and if we will have the possibility to work on it, to get it better, well, better made. Yeah.
Adriano, can I point out that Alfred also indicated this type of dynamic? It's a cultural, the concept in human culture that, you know, they say, oh, that's westernized, or that's something or other. You have to be very careful with you know, the sort of universal, an artist who is sort of moving this out is it kind of universally accepted, because you know, there's sort of certain types of music are not
Yes, of course,
attained, especially in the Islamic world.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. But this is just a draft, just an indication. Conceptual.
I think this Michel Jarre, if he's still active, might be very good. You know,
Yeah, Jean-Michel Jarre is a good thing, and
it's very universal reach he has.
Also, Sting, I think, is very concerned about social issues and so on, and maybe Khaled is a singer working in the North Africa and the Middle East region, and yeah, we can think about artists. So if you like, I will circulate this presentation. Each one of us can drop slides and put other slides inside, and at the end we will build the best presentation. And let's give us a deadline. I don't know if we can try to have it within the end of the year. Would it be reasonable? Okay, so let's
what now, which presentation are you talking about? The one that Mkhail is going to work on?
That is one. That is the video. Okay.
Right. So now you're talking about your big plan?
but when these slides are oriented to a presentation of the roadshow
Okay.
of the campaign. That is,
I
it will be
have some thoughts about it.
it
but
will
we
be a
can
PDF.
talk online.
a
Offline.
PDF document, no, that we can share and send to the people that we will ask money.
Well, I would be careful about Elon Musk, okay? I'll just say that. He has, ever since he bought Twitter, he has become very controversial politically.
Yes, that's true. That's true. That's true.
So let's think that through.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
So
Or can I make another suggestion? If you're doing this, but the thing is, if you're inviting these large celebrities to take part, the invitation is to come from somebody, and possibly it's not coming, from, well, it comes from SRI, but we need somebody to act as a kind of sort of figurehead up here. There's somebody very well known who could actually prepare a short invitation, because the celebrities won't even look at the invitation unless they can recognize the name on it.
no, I think we have to prepare a letter, a short letter, signed for sure by Frank White and a few of us, Frank White, myself, because I'm the organizer, and some other well-known figures that
Yes.
that we can send, and maybe Frank will send from his email address to important donors and
Frank's organization that he says he's setting up,
definitely. I think
the government agencies and things, you could do it in collaboration with that would be very large, and would it actually attract the celebrity at that level, with the large agencies and everything.
I think we can name Frank as our speaker, no? The speaker of the, of the 18thSDG coalition.
When the letter goes out, the invitation, you should make sure it is signed by somebody well known, because they
definitely. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
She's making a good point. She's making a good point.
Yeah. Good. So, are we all in agreement that we nominate Frank as the official speaker of the 18thSDG campaign? Who is against?
He's not here. We can easily vote for that now.
Okay, good. Excellent. Okay, another action item for me. Good. So, do we have anything else for today? Yes.
Adriano, quick comment. I quickly looked at the Wikipedia entry for the Sustainable Development Goals. And I think since Wikipedia is an open format encyclopedia, you can easily edit and add there something about SDG 18. There are a certain portion of that Wikipedia entry where you can do that, references or other activities. And then again, it can be edited out or it can stay. but at the very minimum, I think it should be mentioned there.
Yes, I think this is a wonderful idea. Yes, yes, why not? Okay, who can do it? Who wants to volunteer for that? I think it should be Mkhail or Robert.
Yeah, maybe Mkhail can do it. It needs references and things, you know.
Okay, I can do it. I'll talk, Adriano, to you about the possible text and where we can insert it, and we can try it out and see if it sticks. So
Okay.
I can manage that, yes.
Folks, I have to go now. I can't stay on much longer here.
Okay, good. But I think we are done for today. We made a lot of work. Good.
Okay.
So, thanks everybody. We can close.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Keep the faith. Keep the
Bye-bye.
faith.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.